All right, guys, The Red Book by Carl Jung, Carl G. Jung. What time is it? All right, can't make it that long. But so I'm gonna go chapter by chapter in this book. As I go, I'm gonna just do a little summary, or I'm gonna do my evaluation, interpretation, my subjectivity, what I think it might be about. And so this first part of Liber Primus is called The Way of What Is to Come. So in this first part, there is some Latin here and it's broken down. We get this, it's a medieval, okay, yeah, it's broken down. Passages from the Bible. I'm pretty sure it's Latin here. It's Latin. And so then you got it. So he starts off with a verse from Isaiah. I guess the nature of the redeeming symbol is that of a child, that is the childlikeness or presuppositionlessness of the attitude belongs to the symbol and its function. So the idea of the redeeming symbol, to be born again, like Jesus is a redeeming symbol, to be a child again. So again, we just open up first two pages, and then we have his writing. So he just opens up with some verses from John, from Isaiah, couple from Isaiah. So we have right here. So we have the spirit of this time would like to hear of use and value. I speak in the spirit of this time. I must say, no one and nothing can justify what I must proclaim to you. Justification is superfluous to me, since I have no choice, but I must. I have learned that in addition to the spirit of this time, there is still another spirit at work, namely that which rules the depths of everything contemporary. The spirit of this time would like to hear of use and value. I also thought this way, and my humanity still thinks this way, but that other spirit forces me nevertheless to speak beyond justification, use, and meaning. Talking about people want to justify themselves, and so and so the spirit of the depths is bigger than the spirit of the times. But I feel like he's just, remember, this was a man who wrote. He wrote. He was getting fame from what he wrote, from his teachings. He was notoriety on earth. I feel like he just came to a place where was like, forget what I say. And this is the very first chapter. So I'm looking at the man's Carl Jung, the way of what is to come. So now he's talking about the spirit of the depths. Um, the supreme meaning is the path. Supreme meaning is the beginning and the end. It is the bridge of going across and fulfillment. The supreme meaning never dies. The shadow is nonsense. It lacks force and has no continued existence through itself, but nonsense is the inseparable and undying brother of supreme meaning. So anyway, symbols of transformation. What is great in man is that he is a bridge and not a goal. So what is great in man is that he is a bridge and not a goal. So he's looking at his life and fame and people idolizing him, right? He's saying, I'm not the one you should be idolizing. So you are an image of the unending world. All the last mysteries of becoming and passing away live in you. If you did not possess all this, how could you know? The spirit robs me of joy in life if I do not speak. So again, when I was coming back to college, there's a battle there. Do I raise my hand of fear of looking dumb? Do I raise my hand of fear of people thinking that I want to be smarter than them? Or do I overcome that and ask beyond something greater than myself? So I think that's like the spirit, the spirit of the depths. Like it's not the spirit of the time wanting to justify myself. Or remember, I think he's battling with the idea of him having all this notoriety and people looking up to him and his students and look. So the spirit of our time spoke to me and said, what dire urgency could you speak all this? To understand a thing is a bridge and possibility of returning to the path. But to explain a matter is arbitrary and sometimes even murder. Have you? Okay, so sacrifice is the foundation stone of what is to come. My speech is imperfect, not because I want to shine with words, but out of the impossibility of finding those words. I speak in images. With nothing else can I express the words from the depths. So this was a man of the symbols. Symbols were a big deal to Carl Jung. Symbols of transformation. The mercy which happened to me gave me belief, hope, and sufficient daring, not to resist further the spirit of the depths, but to utter his word. But before I could pull myself together to really do it, I needed a visible sign that would show me that the spirit of the depths in me was at the same time the ruler of the depths of the world affairs. I was suddenly overcome in broad daylight by a vision. I saw a terrible flood that covered all the northern and low-lying lands between the North Sea and the Alps. It reached from England up to Russia. So an inner voice spoke. Look at it. It is completely real and it will come to pass. You cannot doubt this. I wrestled again for 2 hours with this vision, but it held me fast. It left me exhausted and confused, and I thought my mind had gone crazy. Okay, so I feel like he has an existential crisis, realization as a man, not an idol. Woe betide those who live by way of examples. Life is not with them. If you live according to an example, you thus live the life of that example. But who should live your own life if not yourself? So live yourselves. Live not by examples. The signposts have fallen. Unblazed trails lie before us. There is only one way, and that is your way. I warn you away from my own. It can also be the wrong way for you. May each go his own way. This is not a law, but notice of the fact that the time of example and law and of the straight line drawn in advance has become overripe. My tongue shall wither if I serve up laws, if I prattle to you about teachings. Those who seek such will leave my table hungry. Only one law exists, and that is your law. Only one truth exists, and that is your truth. So again, I think he's talking to the people in his life. I think he's just feeling like an odd man out. I think he probably felt people didn't, because of his notoriety and his teachings. Like, I'm not God. Like, I think I don't know what he went through in real life. I don't know if he was getting threatened in life. I don't know if he went through some sort of situation. He say, may each go his own way. There is only one way, and that is your way. You seek the path. I warn you away from my own. It can also bring the wrong way for you. One should not turn people into sheep, but sheep into people. The spirit of the depth demands this. Who is beyond present and past? Um, okay, so may each one seek out his own way. The way leads to mutual love and community. Men will come to see and feel the similarity and commonality of their ways. Laws and teachings held in common compel people to solitude so that they may escape the pressure of undesirable contact, but solitude makes people hostile and venomous. Give humanity dignity and trust that life will find the better way. The one eye of the Godhead is blind, the one ear of the Godhead is deaf, the order of its being is crossed by chaos. So be patient with the crippleness of the world and do not overvalue its consummate beauty. One should not turn people into sheep, but sheep into people. The spirit of the depth demands this, who is beyond present and past. Speak and write for those who want to listen and read, but do not run after men so that you do not soil the dignity of humanity. It is a rare good. A sad demise in dignity is better than an undignified healing. Whoever wants to be a doctor of the soul sees people as being sick. He offends human dignity. It is a presumptuous to say that man is sick. Whoever wants to be the soul's shepherd treats people like sheep. He violates human dignity. It is insolent to say that people are like sheep. Who gives you the right to say that man is sick and a sheep? Give him human dignity so he may find his ascendancy or downfall his way. And the draft continues. This is all, my dear friends, that I can tell you about the grounds and aims of my message, which I am burdened with like the patient donkey with a heavy load. He is glad to put it down. So yeah, that's a dude that's definitely saying like, dude, I don't know all the answers, guys. Maybe I thought I did. Maybe I was so ambitious to teach, but hey, so that's the first chapter of this book right here, and this one's called "The Way of What Is to Come," and this is Carl Jung's The Red Book.